David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Understanding you won't change the offense with Dak out for a period here, but how do you alter it now that you have Cooper in there and his strengths are different, and how much time does that take to kind of restructure things a little bit?
Certainly Dak and Cooper are different players. I think that, like any two players, they're going to have different strengths and weaknesses, or whatever you want to call it. We've played with Coop. Coop's been around here for a long time. We certainly know each other well. He knows the system well, and so I think we're fortunate that the transition, hopefully can go as smoothly as possible.
Kellen Moore up San with USA Today. Can you take us through the emotions of last night? When did you find out that Dak needed surgery, and what was your immediate reaction?
Just gathering information like everyone after the game. It was kind of piece by piece as everyone was going through with the medical aspect of it. So obviously it's frustrating, especially on a personal level, just all the things that he's gone through. And, he's going to go through another hurdle here. And, hopefully when he's ready and available, he's ready to go again.
Claire.
What is Cooper's strength? How does he allow you to just run your offense?
I think he's really smart. He has a great ability to process defenses very quickly, get the ball out of his hand. I think he showed a number of different things that way when he played at Minnesota. And so, I think he's obviously, when he's had his moment, he's taken advantage of it. And so we're fortunate to have a guy like him who can hopefully hop in here and go.
John, did you have something?
Yeah, Jump Show the Athletic. What do you remember, I guess, the first time you were around Cooper? I think you guys were playing together his first year. Did anything stand out about him to you at that time that you thought, hey, if he gets in this position, I know he can make plays?
I think his ability to process, I think he knows who he is as a player, and I think his demeanor is really, really good. He handles the ups and downs that inevitably go through a season, a game, all those sorts of things, and so I feel like we are fortunate to have a guy like that in this situation.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. How frustrating was last night for you as a play caller, just because everything you called, it just like you just didn't get it what you wanted?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is rhythm and flow. That's what we're all shooting for, and when you do find that rhythm and flow, which all of us have, things operate smoothly, and we just weren't able to have that. We had, you get a few plays and then something happened, and so that's the biggest challenge for us. We just got to find our rhythm, find our flow. You play normal flow, normal down distance. Now you're running the ball more. You're getting more in an action game. You're converting the third and manageables. We just kept having those obstacles throwing them in our way.
One more, if I may. How much, when you go through this time, you got to transition at quarterback, the line has got some changes. How much do you rely on McCarthy to kind of help you just get everything going because of his experience?
Yeah, no, we talked through this whole process, and we'll talk through this whole entire week as we go, and we start building this thing up. It'll be a big part of it.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. They may not be a big difference here, but I wondered, last year you knew it was going to be one game with Cooper, and now you're here who knows how many games. How different is that? Conversations, getting ready, is it not really much different because it's just a game at a time, or what are those conversations like?
I think for the most part, it's still going to feel like one game at a time. I don't think you can think too far past one week. It will be a different circumstance certainly, and so we'll be doing this for a little bit of an extended period. So there may be more discussions of what leads on to the next week and the next week, and those discussions that normally happen with Dak, who's in there week in and week out, and so the discussions may change a little bit, just more of a long-term discussions, but. We'll take it for the most part once we get into the real thing. Tomorrow we'll take it week by week.
Michael Gelkin, Dallas Morning News. As you guys work to identify the third quarterback that you'll be bringing into your building, is there a balance at all between bringing a quarterback we could be excited to add with also being mindful of Cooper as a starter and not wanting to at all interfere with just making sure that you're surrounding him with the right room to be at his best?
No, that's a good question. I think at the end of the day, NFL is very competitive, and ownership, front office, all the people associated with this thing, they'll do whatever's best for the Cowboys. And I think Coop understands that. Coop's been around this thing for a while. He knows the business of this thing. We feel really, really good about Coop and the opportunity that he's going to take advantage of here. And as the season goes on, sometimes you add players, and not just in quarterback rooms, but other positions. And guys know that when guys come in, that they're getting ready just like you.
Loffmer, Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Obviously you lost Dak for basically the entire season once he was hurt 2 years ago. You game last year, but how much did you learn as a coordinator and a play caller in those experiences of where you're going to be now?
Yeah, certainly it's different. You know, you spend a lot of time around Dak. Dak takes a ton of reps during the offseason. It's kind of built certainly around his mindset and, you know, what he's most comfortable and familiar with. And so you do have to make little shifts here and there just with the schematic stuff. And, you know, fortunately for us, Coop's been around it for a while, so it's not a completely different player. You know, we'll have to navigate some changes and some adjustments as we go and, you know, make sure we're putting ourselves in a good situation.
But you in particular, like what did you walk away from those other experiences and say, okay, this I learned, this I can put to the side?
Yeah, I think just focusing on, you know, everyone's got strengths, everyone's got superpowers, as we sometimes say, and recognizing those, you know, in each and every guy, and hopefully we try and put them in different positions maybe if we have to get creative with it or put guys in, make sure we're utilizing their strengths.
Christy Scales, Cowboys Radio. Matt Farniak had to step in for McGovern, I think all but 7 snaps. How did he grade it out in his extended action?
Yeah, he battled, he fought. I thought, you know, for him and Tyler both being on that left side and essentially, you know, starting the first time together, I thought they battled. We really thought they took some strides as the game went on, and I think hopefully, you know, as this thing builds, you know, with those guys' roles, those guys will get better and better each week. But you know, we had a couple communication things that are going to happen, and those were, you know, unfortunate. But from a physical standpoint, I thought both those guys battled really, really well.
Why was it so hard to get Pollard and Lamb going last night?
Yeah, I think you know, CD we tried to get the thing going a little bit. You know, I think he ended up with however many double-digit targets, only a couple of catches. You know, they did a really good job, you know, drawing attention to him, and you know, we missed a couple opportunities. And Tony, obviously, you know, you're always wanting to try and get him more touches. I think the biggest thing is, you know, keep the situations, you know, in normal situations. If you're 2nd and 16, you know, 3rd and longs, those are goofy situations. And so, you know, hopefully we can play the game more the way we'd like to, and get those guys more and more involved.
Todd Archer, the ESPN. Mike was talking about 3rd down issues. As you look back at it, what were the biggest problems you guys had there?
Yeah, it's a unique situation. I think all of our conversions were really long ones, and then we missed, you know, 2 3s, a 4, 5, 6, a couple 6s in there, which are usually what you'd view as the 3rd manageables. You know, the long yardage ones, if you can steal a couple every once in a while, that's awesome. But you know, we just got to do a better job of just executing. You know, for myself, I'm gonna look at the schematic side of it. Are we doing it the right way? Do we need to make any adjustments there? And so, you know, certainly a unique experience. Haven't been a part of one, you know, where your one conversions are, you know, the long ones, and you missed all the short ones. So hopefully we move past that.
8 of Zeke's 10 carries went for at least 5 yards. How encouraging is that just for him with the run game, and now without Dak? Is it fair to anticipate that there'll be some loaded fronts that you guys will be facing a good amount in the future?
Really liked the run game. Thought Zeke ran really hard. Tony as well. You know, I thought we came off the ball really, really well. We had, I think, 11 5+ yard runs, which is, you know, against that defense who historically stops the run really well. I thought we had some really, really good stuff there. We just got to keep the game situations, you know, in the right place so we can give those guys more opportunities. Obviously, hey, if they put an extra guy in the box or draw a little bit more attention, we understand that aspect and we'll have to adjust. But feel really good with hopefully where that thing's progressing.
Do it.
Maybe Scruggs, NBC5. Dan's defense, no penalties, a lot of penalties on your side of the ball, especially those pre-snaps. What can be done to cut that down in that area? Because you talked about how it basically limited some of the playbook at times for you.
Yeah, it's a very frustrating, disappointing aspect of ours. We had four pre-snaps that were all under our control. Discipline, you know, discipline. We got to nip those things. There's going to be a couple things. You know, there's an OPI there in CDs. You know, there's maybe a little technique there, but those things are going to happen. But all the pre-snap, all the silly stuff, we can't have any of that. And you know, we're talking about it. We got to hold ourselves accountable. If people can't figure it out, we gotta find guys who can. But you know, I feel really, really good about the guys that we have that, you know, we can correct this thing.
Brad.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio. I know this is generalization, but is there anything specific that you'd like to see from the receivers as a group that would indicate to you that they can play better?
I think the receiver room, I think it's just, you know, I think the 3rd down showed up. We just didn't take advantage of some opportunities there. I think we got got to do a great job. It's going to be a physical game. Those guys have really physical corners in Tampa, and I think we got to recognize that it's a physical game out there. And so hopefully those guys, as we go through this, some of the younger guys get used to, hey, these guys are going to get in your face and they're going to press you, and you got to get off it. And so there's going to be some awesome growth opportunities for those guys as they go through this. We got young guys that are playing significant times for the first time, and they're going to make big leaps each and every week.
Kellen, you mentioned that you're confident that whatever quarterback y'all bring in will do what's best for the organization. Mike had his list of every quarterback in the league, he said, for the personnel meeting. But from a trait standpoint, what are you looking for in that quarterback? And when y'all talk about how Cooper can fit in seamlessly with what Dak does in the offense, how much do you value that relative to other skills?
Yeah, it doesn't change. I mean, anytime free agents on your roster, draft picks, you're looking for smart, accurate quarterbacks who know how to play the game, and athleticism's nice, all that sort of stuff. But right now we're focused on Coop, and from a personnel standpoint, they're going to do a great job of evaluating this thing and seeing if there's something that we need to do, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Tony Pollard in protection probably feel he had a little to clean up there. As a coordinator, how do you engender confidence in terms of staying with the guy, but also making sure you feel confident before you put him in that situation again?
Yeah, I think it's recognizing there's good moments and there's moments that we're going to need to improve on. And, protection, those guys are going to bring a number of blitzes. They do a really good job. Todd does an awesome job with their third down blitz plan. And those guys got to be really, really dialed up. And, we're close. We had a few good opportunities. We just missed too many of them.
Is there a fine line with, obviously you're trying to get Tony involved, and you had some deceptors early, the reverse. What was the thought process there? Obviously, it was blown up, but what was the thought process there doing that so early?
Yeah, just trying to get some misdirection. Those guys, that's a very fast flow defense. Those linebackers are as good as anyone in the league. Trying to give a little bit of misdirection, get Tony an opportunity there, and didn't work.
You didn't regret it because it seemed like the running game was going, Zeke was going, so you were going down the field, and that took some momentum out there.
Yeah. We were. It wasn't a good one, and fortunately, we were able to rebound. We were able to convert get a second and long, get the completion to Dennis, and then get the third down. So we were able to overcome it. But there's certainly risks and rewards on there, and unfortunately, we saw the risk come out of it.
With Cooper's start last year, Halloween, what did you really learn from that day? Just being around him for the course of it, and then the game, and the way he responded, mid-game, some of the adversity. What did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, I think he does a really good job. That was his first time really playing a significant chunk, and I thought he handled the ups and downs of a game really, really well. That's what games are. There's ups and downs, and you got to be able to fight through them. And I thought to see his demeanor and his comfort level grow as the game went on, I thought that was huge, and we're going to build off of that with these opportunities coming up for him.
During your playing career, did you ever have any thumb injury, anything like that in your throwing hand, anything similar to that?
I didn't.
Cincinnati's defense, how different is it what you guys saw yesterday?
Yeah, just the little bit I've watched so far, just a really sound all-around defense. I think they've done a tremendous job of creating a very clear identity of just being a blue-collar defense. They do it the right way. They play together. They got a number of really, really good players, and I think they're just a really sound team. They don't give up a lot of easy plays. They're going to make you earn everything.
How important will it be now for Greer to kind of elevate his game a little bit, especially on the scout team, and then in case something happens to Cooper?
Yeah, certainly when you're in those backup QB roles, when you get elevated up a level, so to speak, you're going to get more opportunities. You got to be prepared, and so fortunately this is coming into the second year for Will in the system at this place, and so we do have a comfort level of that, and hopefully he can continue to grow as well.
Alrighty, thanks. Oh, Michael, you got one more?
Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
We probably won't get a chance to ask you after you guys make this move at quarterback. So when you do add this third quarterback to your building, what's the process of just getting someone at that position in particular up to speed, especially with reps that Cooper predominantly himself will be taking?
Yeah, I think first and foremost we got to get Coop ready, and so that's the priority and that's the focus. And if we don't, if you bring in another guy, I think the biggest thing is just the language and trying to get them up to speed. Usually you're trying to figure out a common translation. Usually we've all been around different football systems enough that you can find, okay, you're from here, and we can start doing the translating and explaining, this play may be this and vice versa. And so, Doug Nussmeier, he'll be a huge part of that. Scott Tolzien, those guys that are going to be able to help guys who come in. And it's no different than when we bring in receivers and O-linemen. Jason's going through it at O-line right now. Coming in, trying to learn something and trying to translate for him as quickly as possible so that when he's available and ready, we're ready to go. All right. Thanks, guys.